Hi, I'm Harjeet Dhillon, your host of Girls Talk. Welcome today. I'm excited to introduce my guest. It's not the greatest story that I have to share today, or that she has to share today, but it's very uplifting for people who are experiencing something similar. So let me talk a little bit about my guest today. Her name is Navneet Sharma. You may know of her on social media platforms. She is a TV host also of her own show called Dateline Toronto, which is on another channel. But she does her show in Punjabi and focuses mainly on women empowerment. The reason behind her choosing the topic women empowerment is her struggles with cancer, which is a devastating illness and it can impact people in so many different ways. And you're just never prepared for that. You just think it happens to everybody else. And when it happens to yourself, you have to deal with that and you have to make do with that and you have to still keep going. So from the age of 17, her mom had gone through treatment twice, and then at 37, Navneet had to struggle with the illness too. I have Navneet here with us today. I also have her son Aksh, who's going to talk about the experience of having to deal with this when it's someone close and someone you love so very much, and it being a mother, and how traumatic it can be and how difficult it can be to remain positive through this time. Thank you so much, Navneet and Aksh, for being here.
Thank you, Harjeet.
Quite the introduction. You know, it's not the best of topics, but your story is so inspirational and uplifting that I think it's very important that a lot of people hear about what you've been through.
Sure.
You know, I forgot to mention as well, which you will mention later on in the answers of the questions. So, based on what you've gone through, you have become the founder of a foundation, Cancer Warrior, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, do you want to tell us a little bit about the foundation?
Sure. Thank you so much, first of all, Harjeet, and the TV and digital TV, that, you know, what they actually are having us, you know, as family, myself and my son, right? Yes, I will tell you, like, my introduction, basically, since last year, it has been changed. So how come I can tell you that? I was a mom of 2 boys. I was a wife. I was a successful professional, but since last year, there is one more identity has added to my name, is breast cancer survivor. So I would say now Navneet Sharma is a breast cancer survivor, and then a mom, then a wife, and then a social or successful person. So yes, I got diagnosed with breast cancer last year in the month of January 2017, as I've said, last year. So I had been seeing the cancer since the age of 17, because when I was 17 years of age, my mom got her first breast cancer. And then after 10 years, she got another breast cancer. So I had been living with that cancer journey and everything, the treatments, but the only difference was the body. You know, so the body was hers, and now last year it was mine. So they say breast cancer is basically it's genetic, right? But in those days, in India especially, when we were in India, we never had any kind of testings for genetics. So I didn't know that I would carry the same genes. So last year I got diagnosed, and it was devastating. Life got frozen in the month of January, you know, not because of the ice or snowstorms, it was because of the diagnosis. So yeah, but I dealt with the treatment.
I can totally understand that. I cannot relate to it because fortunately I've never had to go through something that traumatic for myself. And we have your son here too, and he was dealing with it the whole time, because it doesn't just affect the person who's actually going through the treatment and struggling with this illness, it affects the people around you. And it's very important to be surrounded by a lot of love and support when you're going through this, because it's what helps get you through. You know, and there are so many positive stories, and there's so many really heartbreaking stories as well. You know, there's a combination of all of them. And I'm glad that one of yours is one of the more positive stories that can uplift other people.
Exactly.
So let me talk about your experience with cancer to begin with. So you said that you had grown up in India, so you weren't aware of the genetic factor of breast cancer, but then you came to Canada, which is where you were diagnosed. And did you feel any symptoms? Did you notice any symptoms, or were you just at a regular checkup and a doctor noticed it? How did that come about to find out that you may have cancer?
Sure. So the only issue with Canadian health system is that we go as a very bookish language, in the sense that there are mammograms. They do it like every year. They send the letters, but only above 50 years of women. And last year I was 37. So at the age of 37, first of all, you can't think. And the other thing is that the medical system is not actually encouraging you to go and get your testing done, because in the early ages, under 40 basically, the breasts are very dense. So they don't prefer that you should go for the mammograms, right? So, but what happened was, like, one day, like after the New Year celebration, 4th of the January, we came from US and we were resting, and I woke up and I was just talking to my husband and touching my breast. Unusual. It was like, I think God wanted me to just, take my hand, and he was telling me, go and check your tumor. So I just felt my tumor. And then I went to my husband. I said, now, do you also feel it? He said, yes. So I went to my doctor next day, and they said, you're a young breast, but it could be fibroids, fibroedema. So let's go for the testing. So we went for the testing, and we got to know that it is aggressive kind of tumor, which was grade 3, triple negative, which is very unusual, and it was actually growing every hour. So so the tumor was pretty big, and so treatment plan had to be changed. So yeah.
And at this time, when you were going through this, not knowing, because you didn't know, and the doctor was trying to reassure you that it may not be as severe as you think it is, how are you dealing with that? Like, did you know anything that your mom was going to the doctor, or did you have to wait to find out until everything was confirmed?
So I actually knew that it was confirmed cancer before she did, because our doctor had told our dad, and I came home from school earlier because my school ended a bit earlier at those times, and my dad told me at that time, and that's how I found out. And then the evening of, then we got around and we told her.
So the doctor called your dad instead of talking to you directly?
Yeah.
Wow, so then you didn't hear the news from a doctor, you heard it from family?
Yes.
Which is probably nicer, I would think.
Yeah.
Because when you're with a doctor, it's kind of like you don't know how to take that. But when it comes from family, it's more valued, I guess, because you can deal with the emotions easier. So did you expect it?
The way I was always thinking of it, I was hoping for the best, that it wouldn't happen, but I was prepared that even if it did, how are we going to deal with it? So, so even before we started planning, like, if this were to happen, what are we going to do? How are we going to run the house? Like, what's going to happen? Things like that.
Wow, that's a great answer, to be prepared. And it's weird to think, I mean, you're a teenager, a young adult teenager. It's just weird to think that you'd have to have those thoughts, and you would have to be an adult and all of a sudden step out of childhood and put on like this other hat that I gotta,
He was the one actually who told his dad that, don't worry, 90% the breast cancer is curable. And it was such a positive thing to hear for a dad or a mom, that their kids are basically supportive. They know, they're aware. Right, so yeah, that gave me a lot of boost actually.
Yeah, see, that's why it's really important to be surrounded by positive people as well, not just people that are full of love and support.
Exactly.
But when they're positive, it's so uplifting. I mean, if everybody was like talking about, oh God, I'm so sorry this is happening.
Exactly.
It really makes you more down. Yeah. So it was nice that I mean, I'm going to guess that you got that attitude from your mom, because she's such a positive woman.
Thank you.
And knowing you for the short time that I have, I can only imagine how you dealt with it, with using your positivity and encouraging others to lift you up and not pull you down. Yeah. So after you found out, what were your thoughts once it was confirmed?
So for me and my husband, Our thoughts were very similar because in our family, like we lost a couple of people because of cancer. So we said, thank you, God. We went to our temple in our house, which worship place we have. So we just sat down there and we said, thank you, God. You gave us this and you told us that I am handpicked for this. And you told us that, yes, this is there, a tumor, go get yourself treated and go and do more work in the community. Because we all live for ourselves. See, it had to happen. It's karmas, right? I believe in that. It had to happen, it happened, but we said, thank you, God, you told us. And another thing, thank you, you gave it to us. Now our mental, our thought process has changed. We are a different person now. Like us, my husband and I, we started thinking about how instead of thinking pity or sympathetic for ourselves or family, we started thinking what else we can do for the community, those who are suffering, those maybe who are not blessed with a good family, So those things came in my mind, and I think it's all God's blessing. I was only worried for one thing, that when I got my mom's cancer diagnosed, I was in grade 12, so I had to miss a couple of classes. I'm the oldest, in the family.
And that was in India?
Yeah, that was in India. And, so I said, my kids should not miss anything. I hope they will be positive. I hope they won't be under any trauma. So that was the only concern as a mom. I had it. Yeah.
So you were prepared because you had to go through the same thing as a child. So you knew what your children you'd already been in your children's shoes.
Yeah.
So it's not like you had to imagine, you knew what it felt like.
Exactly.
And knowing that your mom had gone through cancer twice and overcome it twice.
Yes.
Was also in the back of your mind, thinking that if it's genetic to get it, it's got to also be genetic to overcome it.
Exactly.
If my mom can do it twice, I can do it.
Why can't I?
So that's also very uplifting. I just want to touch on that as well, like with your mom being in India. I haven't had to have any healthcare in India, but I have heard that the wait times can be a lot longer, and in Canada everything is a lot sooner. So having to support your mom in India when she was going through treatment, and then you getting the diagnosis in Canada and dealing with the treatment in Canada, did you see any major differences? Do you feel like the care was better in Canada versus India, or do you think it was the same level of care? What were the advantages of being in Canada?
So, Harjeet, I would like to actually add one thing, and I would like to tell to our audience and viewers that we are very lucky that we are in Canada and we are Canadians. And I am very proud to pay my taxes out of my income. Why? Because what we are getting here can't get anywhere in the whole world. I am a very proud taxpayer, because when we went to, in cancer treatment, it's the most lengthy treatment and very time consuming. So a lot of money involved in it, right? Because in Canada, we probably don't know about it, but my mom, when in 1997, she had to spend there almost $10,000 to $15,000 on her treatment, because that time it was a kind of cancer was very big name. And so the treatment was pretty expensive. And after that also, the system is there like that, you always look forward for the second advice. You're spending money, you're spending your energy, but still you're not having trust. You know what I mean? So here what we do, we just go to the doctor, and doctor takes you, the nurses, the whole system, medical system, gives you the care like a baby. They pamper you. They just do whatever is best for you. And that's what happened. Here, if I would have been in India right now, probably we would have spent almost $50,000 on my treatment. But here we got the best treatment, bestest treatment, and with the trust and with lots of care. I would say that we are proud Canadians.
That is so refreshing to hear.
Yeah.
It's so, nice to hear when we're in Canada, it's such a multicultural, diverse country.
Exactly.
it's just amazing when people can be so appreciative of what Canada has to offer. And yeah, it's very important that we pay our taxes, and we do benefit from so much, aside from just the healthcare. But the fact that you have such a positive story about the healthcare system is also quite uplifting, because not everybody has positive stories about the healthcare system, you know. So it's always nice to hear that.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so we are going to be taking a short break soon.
Sure.
But before we do, I just wanted to ask Aksh about this, being Canadian born. Are you very grateful for that?
Yeah, for sure. I'm very proud to be Canadian. And in my future, like, I'm planning to go into the Canadian Armed Forces to serve for Canada with a maple leaf on my shoulder.
That's a proud Canadian right there that you raised.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. We're going to be right back after this short break.
Islamic Circle of North America, Canada presents Carry the Light Annual Convention 2018 on October 6th and 7th at the International Centre, Mississauga. The event is aimed to inspire Muslims to implement the true spirit of Islam in their lives. This year's speakers are going to talk about Canadian Muslims sharing Islam and serving humanity. Don't miss this opportunity to meet with world-renowned speakers at one place. For sponsorship, Grand Bazaar and tickets, please visit carrythelight.ca.
जिंदगी की दौड़ में आगे रहने के लिए आप कितनी मेहनत करते हैं और वक्त है जो हाथ नहीं आता, इसीलिए अब पेश है हबीब झटपट। जी हाँ, फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम हबीब पेश करता है रेडी टू कुक रेसिपी मसाला मिक्स। इसमें है सारे इंग्रेडिएंट्स, यानी प्याज, टमाटर, लहसुन, अदरक काटने की झंझट से छुटकारा और लज्जत से भरपूर खानों का मजा बगैर किसी मेहनत के, वो भी झटपट। नो MSG एडेड, ग्लूटेन फ्री, यानी बचत, लज्जत और सेहत साथ साथ विद हबीब झटपट। This is the world of internet. You have everything on your computer and mobile screen. If you wish to promote your business through internet, especially to perfect target market, then you have just one reliable name, NJ Marketing, offering various marketing solutions like social media marketing, telemarketing, email marketing, search engine optimization, graphic designing, web designing and development, and mobile application development. So call now at 647-824-1485 or email at njmarketing15@gmail.com or log on to njmarketing.ca.
ट्रेंडी कूल है इनके गहने, गोल्ड हाउस, गोल्ड ज्वेलरी का है बेस्ट प्लेस, गोल्ड हाउस, प्योरिटी, क्वालिटी, भरोसे का ये नाम, गोल्ड हाउस ज्वेलर्स।
Now open biggest store of 22 and 24 karat gold jewelry in Malton. Gold House Jewelers.
New collection just arrived from Dubai, Pakistan and India. Call Shahid or Junaid.
905-672-0786.
Purity is guaranteed.
Gold House Jewelers.
Hi, welcome back to Girls Talk. Again, I'm your host Harjeet Dhillon, and I'm here with the beautiful Navneet Sharma, along with her son Aksh, who have been talking to me about their struggles with cancer and being a breast cancer survivor, as well as proud Canadians, which is very important to note too. And I have so much more that I want to ask them. I'm not sure how much we can fit in, but I want to get as much information out of you as possible. I know that you've used your experiences to create the foundation, Cancer Warrior, which you've told me about, but you have not told our viewers about that. So could you tell our viewers about Cancer Warrior, what it's about, and who is involved, and how people can get involved if they want to?
Sure. So the Cancer Warrior Canada Foundation is basically an organization which is my brainchild. When I was going to the hospital, I used to see lot of families, those who were devastated, those who had no support, those who never had any rides, those who never could cook food at home, especially at the time of cancer when you need the home cooked food. So our aim basically, we are actually the team of professionals, you know, our family and friends, they are very supportive. So what we thought of, like, first of all, we wanted to fund the research. Basically in Canada, the researchers are not funded properly, and we need the researchers to eradicate this deadly disease in our future generations. Imagine the life without breast cancer in women or men even. So that's what our focus is, like, to fund the research. Last year, when I was taking my treatment, I was under radiation. We had our Diwali Gala annual, and we could raise, like, in 3 weeks of time, we prepared for it, and we could raise almost $20,000, and we gave it to the Hamilton Health Sciences, because this research called Ruby, it's reduced the burden under younger women, is initiated by Hamilton, and which is going to be global research. So this year, we actually have brought another Diwali Gala just to again support the research, but the aim of, from this year onwards, the aim of Cancer Warrior Canada Foundation is to help the families, to cook for them, to give the tuitions to the kids of younger family when parents cannot put their time towards their kids, or give them the ride and all. So that's what actually our focus of the organization, and we are very proud to do that. And we keep even doing counseling on the phone, or even helping the families, those who look forward for the support.
Wow, it's so good to know, because there are foundations out there and you just don't know about them. So to know that there is Cancer Warrior, and what I've learned about it so far, it's really appealing and it's uplifting. And I think that a lot of people who have overcome cancer or dealing with cancer, family or friends, or even the people with the illness themselves, they need to be aware so that they can donate if they want, their time, their money if they want. They can also use the resources, and everybody can benefit from it, which is really important.
Really important. I would like to add one thing here, Harjeet, that it's about, even anyone can call us, you know, and we can help talking to them, because when you are kind of on a deathbed, then you want people to hear you. You want experienced people, those who had experience in cancer, can tell you what's going to happen. Like in chemotherapy treatment, what can I eat? You know, or in surgery, how they do it. Because doctors and medical system is pretty busy. They don't have as much of time to give you some tips, right? But those who had gone through can always share their journey.
Especially the ones who have gone through it and overcome it too. I mean, they obviously have some really important tips that we would love to hear. I know that you briefly did mention to me that not only did your outlook on life change, but you also changed your habits, dietary habits for sure, to try and get rid of this illness and be the survivor that you are right now. Could you share some of those tips as well with us? What you did, what you went from to who you are now, and how you are combating this using these new habits that you...
Sure, I can always share, and I would love to, because I was a very busy professional. I never used to take care of my eating times, you know, like my food timings. So now the difference actually being, like, getting the new bonus life. This is my bonus life. I got it. So I learned that I have to take care of my body first. I have to listen to my body. As a woman, I used to ignore. I used to take care of my kids. I used to take care of my husband, family, socially, you know, but not myself. Why not? Because I'm the one who's going to take everything further, right? So now I've started listening to my body. I just take one step at a time, eat on time, eat a lot of healthy food, like a lot of greens, you know, I drink a lot of water, a lot of fluids. So that's what, like, has changed in me. And I go to the doctor. Guys, go to the doctor. If something is there in your body, just don't sit down. You know, I always used to do, and I know 99% of the women from our community especially, they don't take care of their requisitions. Doctor give you the requisition, go for the mammogram. You know, don't keep it in your drawers, don't keep it in your cars and forget about it. No, it is important. Your body is your best friend. That's what I learned. after this sickness.
Wow, and it's sad that you had to go through the sickness to learn that.
Yeah.
But at least now you can be a voice for others.
Exactly.
You know, I want to ask you a question too, Aksh. You're sitting there, you're listening, you're taking a lot in. My show is called Girls Talk, if you're not aware of that. But this is your mom, one of the closest females that you'll have in your life that will guide you and show you the path. And you also, I'm not sure if you were there when you were very little when your grandmother went through this too. So you were also exposed to it at a younger age with your grandmother, correct?
I was, this was a bit before my time.
Okay.
Yeah, so I hadn't experienced that.
So, but when you found out about that, and then you found out about what was going on with your mom. So, since you're in school, and this is breast cancer as well, did you ever have a conversation with your teachers, with your friends, to tell them anything about what you're going through at home? How did you handle it back at school?
At school, I think academically that year, I was in grade 10 that year, that was academically probably my best year, marks-wise. Because I always had that motivation in the back of my mind when I was going in to write a test or whatever. Also, yeah, I did let my teachers know, and all the teachers were very supportive. They're like, it's okay if you ever need extra time for assignments or you need a little bit extra time to study for a test, just let us know, we'll help you. I didn't have to ask for extra time because I would always try my best to stay on top of my work. But yeah, the teachers were always very supportive about it.
So that's amazing that you could talk to them and you had that extra support. It's reassuring to know, you know, because with boys, they're not as vocal with their feelings as women are. We love to talk about how we feel, you know, and boys just kind of keep everything bottled in. So knowing that you had mentioned it to your teachers and they were showing you that support is really helpful, you know, because you've raised them really well.
Oh, thank you.
It's obvious. It's a clear-cut indicator. What I wanted to talk about too is the Cancer Warrior Foundation that you founded. You had briefly gone over the events. You do Diwali events, and last year was your first fundraiser. Where 100% of the proceeds are donated to
Juravinski Cancer Centre. It's a research center basically under Hamilton Health Sciences Foundation.
And then you have another Diwali fundraiser coming up on November 2nd.
Yes. Yeah, I would like to talk about it. First of all, I would like to actually give the special thanks behind the scenes is my husband, is my soulmate, like who always took care of me like a baby. Even today, you know, today also, like he makes sure I take my medicine, I take food proper timings, you know. So big thanks to him and my family and friends. They really took care of me so well. They used to cook for us, and you know, when we couldn't do anything in our house, they used to take care of their rides and everything for the classes. So Cancer Warrior actually is aiming to do all that for you. And this year on November 2nd, we are bringing our second annual Diwali Gala for the research and helping the community. We would like you to please participate in this event, which is going to be very different from the other commercial events, because we are bringing the breast cancer survivors or the cancer survivors, those who will be on the stage, on the ramp, and you will see how the life is basically after breast cancer or any cancer. November 2nd, a lot of fun activities, food, DJ. It's in Apollo Convention Center, and you can go to our website cancerwarrior.ca or Facebook page Cancer Warrior, or Instagram or Twitter. You'll find all the information there, and we're gonna rock it like last year.
We are. I'm actually going to be there as well. I'm going to be there attending as a guest. I'm really excited to see and be a part of this fundraiser. One of my things is supporting charities if I can, and especially when they have when they're close to home. And I know somebody who had to struggle with cancer firsthand, and it's just a horrible thing. And you just don't know where to look. You don't know what to say. You don't know how to think, and it's just so difficult, and it can be heartbreaking, it can be uplifting, but at the end of the day we all have to move forward, and we have to use this as an opportunity to grow, which is why Cancer Warrior Canada is an amazing foundation.
Thank you.
To help people and you used your experience to help people.
And we really want people to come and support the fighters and learn from those fighters how they fought this deadly disease and they came up, you know, and that's a big motivation actually. You can't believe last year we had the fashion show and all the models were breast cancer survivors. They were walking on the ramp and with the plaque that cancer is just a word. It's not a sentence. Cancer could not kill me. I killed the cancer. So all these inspirational things, we need to show it to our kids too and family too, right?
Most definitely, I think, and hearing stories such as yours that day will really uplift and inspire others if they've dealt with somebody who's gone through it, or if they've gone through it themselves, or if they're nervous that if they're waiting for test results themselves. It's a great place to be around these people.
Yes.
You know, one of the things that you had mentioned as well, which is kind of something that I'm curious about, is you talked about changing your diet and other habits to try and kill the cancer. And you were exposed to the changes too. So how difficult was it at first to do that? Because you're surrounded by people that are not sharing those changes with you necessarily. Did they accommodate that? I mean, you can both tell me in on this. Fill me in on this.
So when it comes to things like diets, like both of us love cooking. So whenever she felt like eating something, either I would cook it up or she would cook it. So for the food itself, for the food part itself, I think for the most part we were very ready to change and cook whatever she wanted.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's really amazing to hear.
Yeah, it was actually very tough while the treatment, like, because the taste buds were like killed and, you know, what to eat, what not to eat. But again, we had to eat the healthy stuff too, right? So we just did it and we are still doing it. We are changing as per the time's demand. That's it.
And that's what you have to do. You have to change, and it's a positive change.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be healthy in the long run. You know, unfortunately, I'm out of time for the show.
Oh, yeah.
But I hope we covered a lot. I want to say thank you to you both for being here. And for the viewers, if you hadn't noticed, they're both wearing pink, which I think is phenomenal. A lot of men are opposed to pink, you know. But it's a color of empowerment. It's a color of support, encouragement. It's a sign that his mom survived cancer, and I think that is amazing. And I'm actually wearing a little bit of pink too. So it's a pink day today for us, which is great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys.
No, thanks a lot. Thanks to you. Thank you.
So thanks for watching my talk with Navneet and her son Aksh. It was so great to share all of that information with you guys. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel at NJ Digital TV and stay tuned to my show Girls Talk. See you next week.
रंग वाली भरम वाली न्यूज वाले व्यूज वाले भेल वाले मेल वाले कराची वाले खैबर वाले लाहौर वाले पिंडी वाले इन शॉट पूरे पाकिस्तान वाले
An exclusive multi-designer studio specialized in wedding planning services, bridal wear, casual party wear, jewelry, shoes, purses, dupattas, men's and kids' clothes. You name it, we have it. Some of the Pakistani designer labels we carry are Semi-K, Agha Noor, Sana Safinas, Anas Abrar, Zainab Chutani, Wahaj Khan, Fatma Khan, and many more. Parahan, sheer elegance. We believe in quality service and best price.
You can contact 9075 Derry Road West, Unit Number 1, Milton, Ontario.
मैं हूं जहांगीर खान, स्क्वाश कोर्ट का चैंपियन, लेकिन रियल एस्टेट इन्वेस्टमेंट का चैंपियन मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन। मुझे उन पर यकीन है, आप भी करके देखिए।
जहांगीर खान और हजारों क्लाइंट्स का चहेता मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन। रेजिडेंशियल प्रॉपर्टीज और इन्वेस्टमेंट्स दोनों के लिए ही सही मशवरा, सही फैसला। मकान जिसे आप अपना घर कहने में फख्र महसूस करेंगे। मोहम्मद कामरान हुसैन, 4163185264।
A criminal charge can be an ugly and nasty surprise. Don't let bad decisions or unfortunate circumstances Take control of your life. The criminal lawyers at Alam Law Chambers will listen to your story and develop the best defense for you. Nothing in life is more important than your freedom. Reliable and affordable. Alam Law.